What's going on, folks? Uh, I've made it clear. Well, not necessarily made it clear, but I've said because I really don't care. Um, because when you're trying to make things clear, you're putting too much emphasis on trying to explain why you feel a particular way or view something. But I've said in passing that I'm not part of the Manosphere. Never been part of the Manosphere. I've been talking about. Many of y'all have been following me, knowing that you know, I've heard some Manosphere guys, Dennis Sperling, Kevin Samuels before he passed, couple other, uh, and a lot of the things they're saying I've I've said a long time ago, and I'm not going to make that. Those guys are way bigger than me, and that's fine. Um, I'm not going to do 8-hour live streams a day, and I've talked about this. I've said a minute, and I've talked. I guess they call it grifters, but I've talked. I've said this that a lot of people on the internet, and which is I've been. I mean, y'all know I'm trying to stay on topic. My mind is all over, but I guess they call them grifters. People who actually get paid to do this, because I couldn't, in my right mind, understand how people do 6-hour live streams, 2 to 3 hour live streams daily. Like, what are you doing with yourself outside the internet? But I was introduced that people actually get paid to do this. See, people used to say I used to get paid to speak the way that I did back in 2011, 2012. He must get paid for this. Painless has never got one dime from YouTube. Not one. One red cent. None. You know? But no, I've never, I've been talking about manhood for years. And I've been talking about how it's meant to, everything that's happening now has come to fruition. Things that I've been speaking about in 2014, 2013. And I remember for me, it all started when they wanted to, that bathroom shit. That's how all this now kids can decide what they want to be at 8, 5 years old, whether they want to be a little boy, a little girl. I remember all this shit started. All this shit started about a bathroom. I think it was in a Target. And the guy, she, whatever you call them, uh, was caught looking at a little girl or some shit, or a young child. And I remember that's how all this shit got started. And that was over 10 years ago. And look now, that shit is normal now. So, I've been talking about this, the agenda, and how society wants to make you. I've talked about straight men in America and how we're Ronin, like we're outcasts. To be a straight male in America is damn near you're looked at as like an enemy, really. And then you compound that with being a straight black male, because a lot of, and I'm going to get to the main point of this video, but a lot of people want to see the black male in a real meek type type mold. There's too much masculinity and all that. But anyway, I've been speaking about this shit since for ad nauseum for years. But let me get to this. Again, like I said, I don't. And then I look at some of the guys who are supposed to be the pioneers, and I'm a name drop because I don't particularly care for this guy. You got O'Shea Duke Jackson as your Mount Rushmore for the black manosphere. O'Shea Duke Jackson? That's your leader? I digress. Anyway, which really made me kind of just like, oh yeah, if this is who your cleric is, no thanks. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm good. But yeah, this is, I've talked about this shit before too. I've said that I've seen this where you can have white boy Ty at the dance or at the club. Me and my partners, Jamal, we over here getting it. We doing these dances, we doing these moves, and shit, ain't nobody paying attention to us. But soon as White Mike on the other side of the damn dance floor is doing the moves, maybe not even doing them as good as us as black men. Look at get it, white boy, look at him, dude, he getting it. Girl, I like Ty, I like White Mike. This shit happens all the time. And you know how you watch some shit from afar? You know how you watch some shit from afar, you be like, yep. You can look, and I've said this, and I've seen this on the internet, and I damn sure done seen it in real life. I've seen people get together off the strength of, what is that saying? The enemy of my enemy is my friend bullshit. I've seen people get together just off the strength of that, and I'll say that shit is not gonna work out. They clicking up like the only reason they clicking up for is to get at somebody else. And I said to myself, watch, in a couple months, that shit gonna blow up. That shit gonna be all over. You think this is a mess right now? Wait, give it 3 or 4 months, and this shit is gonna be disastrous. Disastrous. And lo and behold, I didn't seen it. I've seen this. And I say all that to say that, when you have something so fragile in and of the manosphere and its talking points, you got to look, what's the point of the manosphere? What is the point? I can't speak. I don't know their edicts or their rules, but I can speculate based off some of the stuff that I've heard and have seen. It appears a lot. It appears it's trying to strengthen men, because you have the black manosphere, which to me, okay, why is there a black manosphere? Why is there a black manosphere? Here we go with that shit. Here we go with that. You got the real Masons, then you got the Prince Hall Masons. Okay. You got these fraternity, and then you got the Greeks. You got that, see, already That shit right there already is a red flag for me. That is a red flag. Here you have Negroes posturing, pontificating, trying to be on an equal footing and playing field as their supposed white counterparts. And a lot of that manosphere shit don't apply to sisters. Some of the shit, because I had to go back and listen, because you got people who, you got the fresh and fits, and the reason they're so dominant, you know, they're all low, they just suffocate. Manosphere, and I know people say, well, it's your algorithm painless. Well, I don't know, it very well damn could be. But what I'm saying is, it's so smothering and so dominating. You know? Because there's people that I do listen. I mean, shit, I watch YouTube here and there. But you got white manospheres, guys, whatever. And some of the stuff I heard, I said, that shit don't apply to black women. That's some white boy shit that you dealing with your white women. That shit ain't got nothing to do with black men and black women. It don't apply. Because black women are not like that. And a lot of you black, quote unquote black manosphere, y'all need to recognize that shit. Some of that shit don't apply to, a lot of that shit don't apply to sisters. It don't. But yeah, this Just Pearly, I mean, that shit, y'all, she's the white Mike. In a gist, Just Pearly is the white Mike at the club doing subpar moves, mimicking and copying us. That's what Just Pearly Things is. And a lot of you Negroes fell for that shit. Trojan horse, I mean, damn. Simple sweep to the leg move. Template. Trojan horse, infiltrate, dominate, start shit, shake the spot and dip. Or, you know, that's exactly what's going on. And you know how see, the internet, I'm like this in real life. Some of you guys out here, see, when I see a guy, and I'm name dropping, like an Anton Daniels. See, when I see a guy like that is arguing with women, like you're arguing to the point to where you're getting real sassy with a woman, like you've gotten down to her level of being sassy and trying to have the last word. To me, that isn't, I would call, manly or masculine. I don't argue with no woman. You're not going to win with no woman arguing. That doesn't mean that you weak. It says, see, why get mad at some shit for what it just is? Why get mad? Why get mad at the crocodile that wants to attack you when you're in the goddamn water? That's his nature or her nature or whatever sex they is. That's what they do. Why get mad at the snake that bites you? It's in their goddamn nature to. So, therefore, why sit up and try to explain why women are this and that when it's their goddamn nature? I don't understand that. And it appears that a lot of people have built platforms trying to explain this shit. You know? I'm not about to be arguing with no woman I'm not doing that. And when I see these brother, and then just real slick at the mouth, that shit, that passive aggressive bullshit as a man. Now again, I expect that from women. But yeah, so when I see these guys, and I name dropped just to show you the the roster of these guys, and it doesn't surprise me why shit white Mikeism or tie happens. When I look at these guys, when I look at guys like this, and me, I'm not even on no race shit. Fuck that, what she said about slavery and all that. I don't give a damn about that. It shakes to allow. I'm going back to the inception of how she was able to infiltrate. I don't give a damn what she said. I said slavery wasn't that damn bad. And I stand by that. Well, Painless, what the fuck you mean by that? Well, Negro, if you allow me to explain, I might, let me explain. If I feel like it. Not, But yeah, I'm going back to the inception. Come on, this is Manosphere. We're real men. We're money bag chasers and all this bullshit. But you let this girl, this Caucasian woman, white Mike y'all, which to me goes against what I would think the edicts of being Manosphere stands for. I don't get that. I don't get that. And I believe and I'm gonna tell you this, like I said about Prince Hall, and black folks always trying to dip shit in chocolate. Black folk, we love dipping shit in chocolate. Painless, what do you mean by that, dipping shit in chocolate? Well, you try to dip Jesus in chocolate. You try to Africanize Christ. You dip Mason in chocolate. You got your Prince Hall. Black church, you dip in chocolate. The fraternities, you dip in goddamn chocolate. And that's what we love to do. We love to try to take things from, and I said this, I told my mama this one time, but she said, she kind of laughed. She gave me like a little, okay, nigga. Okay, son. All right, son. Okay. I said, Mama said, cause we talk, when I go home, they come up. And we talk about issues, me, my daddy, and my mama, and whoever. And I told her, I said, you know what, Mama? We are just black white folks. That's all we are. Everything, and I'm gonna get about, wait a minute. Everything that we've learned, you know why you put on pants? Because you got it from a white man. You know why you sprayed it? You know why you still spray that damn cheap ass Jacquard cologne on? Because you got it from a Caucasian. Everything we do, we've learned from white people in America. The way we talk. You can read, and I've been talking about Dr. Thomas Sowell's great works. Was it Black Rednecks? And read some of his books. I got some of them on my Kindle, on my phone, and on all my little gadgets I got. I read a couple of his books, and he talks about how we even talk can be traced back to Caucasians. That can be traced back to England and how they was, even how finicky, and even, how we always trying to wheel and deal. We didn't start that shit. White people started that shit. And I said, especially coming from the South, there's a lot of dumbass white people in the South that are always trying to get over, that are always trying to swindle and trying to get out of work. Where we get that from? Them. But see, we've taken on that banner because, for whatever reason, racism, it's a multitude of things. But we've taken on that banner of being always trying to get out of shit, always trying to wheel and deal, and all this low vibration stuff. But yeah, your Manosphere, y'all, when I saw this white girl being the spokesman, and see, again, that's what the point I was talking about. See, the quote-unquote, I ain't going to call it white Manosphere because they started the shit. It's just Manosphere, and then you got the black Manosphere. I would go so far as to bet. I would go so far as to bet a paycheck that when them white boys from the Manosphere start seeing you shines, talk all this, Manosphere shit is, oh shit, it's ruined. It's ruined, it's done, finito. We didn't let these Negroes get a hold of it. And I know, I can tell that there's like, oh shit. And that's exactly what's kind of going on. See, they had their own space. And truth be told, they didn't really allow a lot of women. I don't think this whole Just Pearly shit would never have happened if it wasn't for the quote-unquote black Manosphere. That's what I'm saying in a gist. That's what I'm saying. You Negroes with y'all affinity for Caucasian women and y'all's white Mikeism, ooh, they said some shit that we agree with. It sound like, it sound like us. Ooh, we agree. Ooh, we got an ally. That black and brown bullshit. This is what it is. This is what it is. This is what it is. And like I said before, I could care less about the stuff that she says or has said, which I've heard kind of through third parties, because I don't watch that shit. But I'm glad all these things, this video, all the information that I'm talking about, I've gathered that I've sat on for about a week and a half or two. And I've watched from afar. Like I said in the beginning portion of this video, I said, did I not say, when you watch some shit from afar and you just see people and they begin to congregate and you be like, you know what, their ass don't even go together. They don't even, why are they together? And then 3 or 4 months, poof. That's exactly what I've done. You add that friend of my friend bullshit. It has seeped through the cracks and it stinks. It stank. It stinks. But see, again, the inception. The inception. And this is where you got to call black, and this is where you got to call brothers out, black men out. I can't get mad at the sisters that say, you know what, I don't want to fuck with y'all no more. White Mikeism. It never fails. It never fails. This woman, and the irony is that this is a pure pump and dump. You know, and now you're trying, see, and what it appears is the reason, so now it's about a black and white thing. No, no, don't do that. Don't do that. But because again, the inception. Why the fuck was she over there anyway? Should have never been over there. Never. So, this is where we are. So now you got guys trying to make it a racial thing. No, 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 Manosphere. No, no, Mr. Black Manosphere. Don't do that. Don't. Because if you want to do that, you shouldn't have been fucking with that Manosphere shit anyway. Because it was created by Caucasian men. But dipping shit in chocolate. You just couldn't resist. You couldn't resist taking that white man's shit and dipping it and Africanizing it. And this is what you have. This is what you have. So no, you're not going to get off on that race shit after the fact. She should have never been over there in the first place, gentlemen. And that's, for me, painless, just observing some shit. And, but I know the Negro. His affinity for fried chicken and white women is irresistible. It's his weakness. It's his goddamn kryptonite. And it plays out. But nah, don't try to erase shit. She said about, no, her ass shouldn't have been over there. This is the equivalent. You know what the equivalent of this shit is? This is like four Negroes drinking and partying, smoking weed, and a Caucasian girl walks by, and y'all like, hey, come on in. Oh, she comes up and like, hey, what are you guys doing? That's exactly what Just Pearly did to you motherfuckers. Y'all was partying, drinking, listening to music, minding y'all's own business. Y'all see this Caucasian, she walk up on y'all. Hey, I want to party too. And y'all Negroes brought her up in there. And then you wonder why the sheriff's office is at your goddamn apartment the next morning. Not too smart, man, Black Manosphere. But, like I said earlier, when you look at who they leaders are, in particular, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me, and you're not going to use race to get about this shit. That shit should have never happened, Mr. Black Manosphere men. It should have never happened. It should have never happened. She Trojan horse, you fools. She Trojan horse, y'all motherfuckers. And, it's and this is just me looking through the lens of a man, just a straight up guy. Like, y'all talk all this shit about black women and child. Y'all talk this shit about, see, this is what y'all do. A lot of y'all have done. Y'all have taken these Caucasian straight up manosphere guys and y'all tried to put these jackets on black women. The way that black women and white women approach child support is totally fucking different. But it just amazes me. But here comes Emily, and y'all just let all y'all fucking defenses down. Hey, shut down the damn fortress. Lift up the gate. Shut down the force field. Hey, wrap up the beams. You know, let down the drawbridge. Hey, turn the fences down, please. That's what y'all did, because she was Caucasian. So y'all go against the very things that y'all stole from Manosphere white guys, the real Manosphere. That's fact. That's fact. But that's my take on this painless hour.